is Bonnie. I'm going to take you through a short session on the chair today, and I'm going to start off with some tapping. Tapping is really good for us in lots of different ways. It stimulates the circulation of the blood and the lymphatic system, and it also helps to move the energy through our bodies. Sometimes our bodies become a bit heavy and stagnant with energy that's been around for a long time and has become stagnant. So this tapping helps to release some of that energy. So we'll start in the middle of the chest. If you tap in the middle of the chest around the sternum, just in front of the heart center, there's the thymus gland here, which is a gland that's related to the immune system. And tapping here will help to enhance your immunity. And then we move from the middle of the chest to one arm and tap all the surfaces of that arm back and forth along the length of it, the front and the back and the sides. Making sure that you cover the back of the shoulder and the back of the neck, and come into the armpit and tap around the armpit and around the ribs. And then once you have covered one side, come back to the middle of the chest, do a little bit of tapping there, and then come to the other side. You can use the flat of your hand, or you could use just a very gentle fist. It's just very, very gentle tapping that we're doing here, covering all of the surfaces of this arm. Don't forget the back of the shoulder, back of the neck, and into the armpit. And the ribs. And this will help you to feel now. If you take a moment to notice, you'll feel that you feel a little bit more stimulated and maybe a little bit tingly. We'll also do the legs. So you start at the hips and around the buttock. You can do both legs at once and then work your way around the outside of the legs and up, coming to the front, coming down along the shins and tops of the feet, coming to the inner legs and the backs of the legs. And then pick up your feet and make sure that you tap the tops of your feet and the soles of your feet. Both feet here. And bring your feet down and let them be hips width apart. So I'm sitting forward on my chair so I can feel my sits bones comfortable and grounded on the chair, and the feet are hips width apart with the ankles underneath the knees. Come back now to a moment of noticing how you are. Let the back of the neck be long, shoulders away from the ears. Take a full breath cycle here. And if you bring your hands up to the level of your heart center with your palms facing each other, we're going to do a breath flow and a twist. As you inhale, let your right arm come out to the side, following it with your eyes. Your head will come to the right and maybe your torso will move. Exhale and bring that energy back towards your heart center. And the other side, inhaling, taking the left arm out to the side. Exhaling, coming back to the center. This is the flow, and we'll do this 2 more times on each side. Letting your breath be long and slow. Feeling the grounding of your soles of your feet on the floor. The grounding of your sits bones on the chair. And the length of your spine, 1 more time each side. Tall from the crown of the head to the tail. This is the last one. Let yourself rest here for a breath with your hands resting on your thighs. I'm going to take the left leg up, and you can hold on at the shin or behind the thigh, whichever is comfortable for you. This right arm is going to go behind the back of your head. And then we're going to take the right elbow towards the knee, curling in, and the knee towards the elbow. And on the exhale, release, maybe taking that arm back a little bit. And then inhale and go back the same way again. And we'll repeat that 2 more times. Come up to a tall seat and let that leg rest. And then clasping the other leg either at the shin or behind the thigh, left arm behind the head, right around the roundness of the back of the head. And then as you inhale, bringing the knee and the elbow together, exhaling to come up to a tall spine. 3 more times on this side. And when you've completed, let that foot rest down. Bring yourself back to a tall spine. Let your arms come out long to the side, shoulders away from the ears. And turn your arms, the whole arm, so the palm is facing up, and then back so that the palm is facing back. Just let them go to wherever it is that you are comfortable, not making any force in any way. Keeping your shoulder blades resting down your back. And now we'll alternate. So while the one is up, the other is down. And you're coming into a little bit of a dance, and you can go back and forth here. Letting your whole of the arm bones, the upper arm bones, move and rotate in the shoulder socket. 1 more time each side. And let your hands come now to the heart center. And we're going to press the hands together at the heart center. So the elbows are out to the side. The thumbs are pressing into the sternum. And as you inhale, press the hands together tightly. Exhale and just let that press release. And 1 more time, inhaling to press in. Exhaling to release. Bringing your hands onto your knees, we're going to come forward and we're going to make some circles. So let your body now come to the right, come back so that your belly is pulling back towards the spine, your shoulders are forward. Let your trunk come to the left and come all the way forward. And we're going to make 2 more circles like this, rotating the trunk around the pelvis. And when you have completed this circle, then take your circles the other way and complete 3 circles going the other way. Letting your spine becoming awake and alert. This will be your last rotation this way. And back to center. Come into a tall spine and then bring your belly back towards the spine and bring your shoulders forward and your chin into your chest and squeezing that belly tightly towards the back body. And then inhale and come up and come into a back bend if it's comfortable for your neck, looking up. We'll go back and forth like that 2 more times. Inhaling forward, exhaling to come up. Let this be your last one. Inhaling forward, exhaling up, and come back to a neutral spine. We'll come into a forward fold. You can come halfway down like this, or you can come all the way down with your upper body resting on your thighs, and let your head be totally relaxed here. And then your arms could be held on at the elbows in front of your shins, or you could have your hands all the way down to the floor. So either way, if you're holding on to your hands or the hands are on the floor, let your hands creep over, or your arms over to the right side. And once you have reached as far as you want to go with comfort, take a full breath cycle here. Go back through center. Let your hands come over to the left side, or your arms if you're holding on at the elbows, making sure that your neck is nice and long and your head is relaxed. Taking a full breath here. And then inhale and let your hands come back to the front. Feel the soles of your feet on the mat. Notice your sits bones on the chair. Bring your hands onto your thighs, keeping that chin tucked in and engaged at the belly as you very, very slowly bring yourself up to a tall seat. And here we're going to come into a side bend. So bring your arms above your head and clasp your hands with the palms coming up towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, let your spine go strong. Feel your feet grounding you on the floor. And on the exhale, bring yourself over to the right. Keep that left sits bones anchored on the chair. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, growing a long spine. Exhale, coming over to the left. Come back to center, doing one more each side. Inhaling, exhaling to come into the side stretch. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, coming back to the long side. Inhale back to center and let your arms come down beside you. Let them be nice and heavy and long beside you as you take some nice big circles with your shoulders, releasing any tension that you may now be feeling around those shoulders, and then take those circles the other way. Let your hands rest on your thighs here. Bring your feet out so that you've got your heels on the floor and your toes reaching up to the ceiling. And then curl your toes away from you and bring them towards your shins, going back and forth like that a few times. Getting some stretch happening around the tops of your feet and your toes. Let this be your last stretch here. And then bring your feet back. Come back onto the seat of the chair so that you're closer to the back of the chair. And we'll bring those feet up and down a few times, getting the ankles working. And then just relax down. We'll sit forward on the chair. We're going to come up to standing using the core of the body. So you need to make sure that you have your feet in a good position so that you feel comfortable. And we're going to go up and down. So make sure that you can feel that you have the seat of the chair here. You can go up and down by holding on to the side of the chair, coming up and then sitting back down. If you feel that you have the strength in your core to enable you to hold on at the shoulders, keeping your back straight, you could come up and down like that. And we'll do that 3 more times. As you inhale, engaging at the core and the inner thigh. Exhale, coming down. 2 more. And then just relaxing down, letting your hands rest on your thighs here, taking a moment to notice your breath. Close your eyes very gently. Imagine that you have become inward to where your spine or the center channel is coming up your body from your tail to the crown of your head. And as you inhale, breathe that breath up to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, exhale it down towards your tail, all the way along that internal inner channel or your spine. 2 more breaths like that. staying with your eyes closed, I'll read you a piece by Mary Oliver from her book called Winter Hours. And this is about our relationship to nature. The man who does not know nature, who does not walk under the leaves as under his own roof, is partial and wounded. I say this even as wilderness shrinks beneath our unkindnesses and our indifference. Nature there will always be, but it will not be what we now have, much less the deeper fields and woodlands many of us remember from our childhood. The worlds of Van Gogh and Turner and Winslow Homer and Wordsworth too, and Frost and Jefferson Whitman are gone and will not return. We can come to our senses yet and rescue the world, but we will never return it to anything like its original form. It's a thought to take with us as we think about the way the world is now, as we have been 2 months or so into this shutdown with the quarantine. I wish you well. If you wish to continue this practice by going into a period of Shavasana at your own time and pace, that would be a very nice thing to do. Thank you. Namaste.